Now we gotta get into this Batman episode 6, The Underdwellers, chat. Now this particular episode has a reputation. It's considered to be one of the worst episodes of not only the Batman made series, but also of all the DCAU. You know, it's kind of raised up. And another episode people hate is the one where everyone when Batman fights like giant farm animals in the fourth season. I forget what that one's called, but like this one is up there as well, and where it's basically Batman chasing after a weird fucking pedophile-esque like sewer king. He fancies himself a sewer king, chat, who has this enslaved group of children, chat, who do his bidding in the Gotham sewer system. He's the diddler! He's the diddler! Osnick, that is now his name. He will no longer be known as the sewer king, chat. He is now known as the diddler. Batman v. Diddler. Osnick, you're gonna get a Mr. Reverend and Mr. Reverend hype for me for that. Holy shit. You goddamn nailed it, my friend. The diddler. Yes, chat. And yeah, a lot of people really dislike this episode because it's super fucking goofy, and really it has to do with the diddler himself, chat. I don't mean to hate on the guy, like this is a job for him, but the voice acting for this character, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna do like a Schmiegel, type guy who wears these very regal, kind of like Renaissance era clothes, and it just does now. It comes across so unintentionally funny and not intimidating. It's like, all right, first of all, if I was one of these little street urchins, because he has like, I guess he's like Fagin from Oliver Twist. It's like, what if Fagin was just he's kind of a piece of shit already, but what if he was like a real piece of shit? Because Fagin actually cares about his kids he takes care of. Like, this is the opposite. That's what it's like, not Fagin chat, but he's the diddler. And he just diddles these kids all goddamn day. And he just treats them like shit. And like, if I was one of these little street urchins, like, guys, we can totally just team up and just tear his ass apart. But I guess, caveat, he has that fucking army of alligators, so there is that. There is that, chat. But still, we can probably get it. We can probably fucking tear him apart nonetheless. He's not always with his alligators all the time, but we'll see, chat. But now, chat, let's get in the episode. It opens up, and we're in the Gotham Theater District, chat. This is where the swankiest of the Gothamites is seeing their films, they're seeing their stage plays, they're seeing their musicals. And everyone is just decked out in their Sunday best, chat. They're just flaunting their fucking wealth at all the poors, at all the mud people that also walk across the Gotham streets. And we cut to this very Rubenesque older woman, chat, and she's just waiting for a taxi. She's like, taxi! Taxi's like, fuck you. And he's just like, I don't give a damn. He just speaks right back. He's like, how rude! And then, chat, we see his little street urchin. She's like, ah! And he comes up behind her, chat, takes that purse out of her fat clutches, and he's like, oh, no! And she tries to go after him, chat, but he falls over, fucking breaks her neck. Paralyzed from the neck down. Paralyzed from the neck down, chat. Not looking good for our Rubenesque Gothamite. Now she's fine. She just calls, she's like, someone stop him! And chat, but no one stops him because he is just hopping around until he then goes into the sewer system. And he goes down in there, and then we see, it's like, oh, this is like a collection. It's like a collection of other children operating in here. It's like, what the fuck is going on in here? We see all these kids, and then they hear the dinner bell, chat. They hear like this bell that's ringing throughout the sewer system. It's like, what the hell is going on? We'll find out. But then we cut back to the above level, as they call it. The actual Gotham streets. And this woman's saying, a leprechaun stole my purse. The cop's like, are you fucking serious? A leprechaun stole your purse, ma'am? She's like, I saw him. I'm not crazy, goddammit. A leprechaun took it. And he's like, oh, okay. All right. But Batman's like, I believe you. He just comes out of the goddamn night, and he's like, I believe you. I'm going to find that fucking leprechaun. He just disappears. Woman goes, holy shit. It was the Batman. And Batman, he heads back to his good old Batcave, chat. And Alfred, he's just fucking listening to his show tune. He's enjoying his Bach, his Beethoven. He's having a good time. And Batman just starts, leprechauns, Alfred, can you believe it? Leprechauns are in Gotham. And Alfred's like, yup, leprechauns in Gotham, sir. I think Alfred at this point is just like, alright, he's fucking nuts, but he pays really well. You can believe it, leprechauns all you want, Bruce. As long as you keep paying me, and I won't reveal this secret to the press or the fucking FBI or the GCPD. And yeah, perhaps it was little green men as well. And he's like, I know you're laughing at me, Alfred. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was not leprechauns, but there's something nefarious going on in the Gotham streets. I believe it. And Alfred's like, you know what, Bruce? You need a vacation. You need to relax. How about a trip to the Bahamas? How about that? And Batman's like, sounds hot. How about, I don't know, read a book? Sounds boring, Alfred. And Alfred's like, what do you want? I want to be Batman. It's like, of course you do. Of course you do. All right, what are you going to do, Batman? He's like, I'm going to find that fucking leprechaun. Yep, go find the leprechaun, Bruce. I'm going to go upstairs. So he goes upstairs, chat, and he puts on the cape and cowl. And he goes out into them streets, them Gotham streets. But then, chat, we come back to the sewers. And we hear that bell ringing. Who's ringing that bell in the sewer system? It sounds creepy. And then we see there's basically a civilization of children living underneath the streets of Gotham City, chat, like dozens upon dozens of children. And they have beds. They're repairing clothes and things. They're dropping off all their stolen wares, chat, that they've taken from the Rubenesque women of Gotham City. And they see that we also see they have an agricultural commune. They have managed to plow. How do you fucking plow fields in a sewer system? I'm making a goddamn sense. Yeah, with the Jedi. Thank you so much for the 10 biddies. Yeah. Thank you. But these enslaved children have made a farming commune. Like farms need sunlight. What are they growing down there? Mushrooms? I don't know. But they're doing it. They're plowing these fields, chat. One kid like stabs his foot with a plow. He's like, ah! And he screams out. The kid's like, shut the fuck up. He can't hear you. And he ties it off, chat. And they're like, oh, they can't talk. Like, what's going on? And then they all fucking go towards the sound of the dinner bell. And we find they're like in this big, large kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, chat, but this enlarged, almost like amphitheater-esque segment of the sewer system. And there's this one man sitting on the throne. And they all gather around this one man, chat. Also, we see scenes of fucking alligators, like shells of alligators, chat, because they're like the security system, the security guards of the sewer. And like, that's kind of crazy. And then, chat, fucking the Diddler. It's revealed it's the Diddler, chat. Also knows the sewer king for this episode. But I like the name the Diddler better. And he just starts slamming his goddamn scepter on the ground. And he's like, yes, children, yes, time for lessons. We teach you the lessons. And I was like, oh, boy. Listen, no offense to the voice actor, but he fucking sucks. This character comes across so unintentionally funny. It's like, all right, again, if I was one of these kids, I would have just fucking killed him. I could literally stab this man in the night, and we could take, and I'll become the new Diddler. That's what it could have been. That's what they could have. These kids could have had, chap. Of course, they fucking blew it, because this scrawny-looking Schmeagle Diddler man has such intimidation over the youth of Gotham City. I don't believe it, chap. Anyway, he's like, I must teach you your lessons, yes. And he's like, lesson 1, never be seen. So, because someone was seen, chat, because we saw that the one kid, the leprechaun who stole the person, the Rubenesque woman, he was seen. And he's like, no one can be seen, yes. And he grabs this fucking kid by the neck. And he's like, you must be punished. And he takes him to this room, chat. You must see the light. And he throws him into the room. And he's like, the light you see. And he closed the door, and the light. These kids can't stand the light because they're always wearing hoods. They're like fucking Morlocks, chat. They're like Morlocks living here. He has something. He's exposed to the light. And it burns him. It burns his skin. And he's like, good old Billy will be in there for 24 hours, yes. And he's like, lesson number 2. No talking! And he's like, oh, Jesus, you're so loud. Lesson number 2, no talking. And like, I heard you talking. You were talking. He's like, that's no. You know what, chat, I just realized? He reminds me of Lemon Grab from Adventure Time. He's like, unacceptable. He is on that level. He is the Sewer King Diddler version of Lemon Grab from Adventure Time. That is the same cadence that he's screaming at. And he's like, no more talking. Lesson number 3. All the pretty things must be brought to me. Yes, to me. Go get the pretty things. And then they all like, all right, fuck, we gotta get the pretty things. And they go out there, chat, and they start collecting the pretty things for the Diddler. And there's one kid, he gets a pretty thing, chat, but fucking who's there to get it? It's the Batman. He's like, you! And Batman grabs him. He's like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? And the kid's like, oh, let me go, please. I don't want to be diddled. He's, I'm not going to diddle you. I just need you to wear some green tights. That's all I need you to do. Just wear some green tights. Lost opportunity on Batman. He could have had a fucking army of Robins chat in Batgirls. He's like, fucking Batman. I was like, nah. These kids been diddled enough. But he takes this kid. He's like, listen, I'm going to need your help here, kid. Okay? So I'm going to take you back home, and I'm going to wash you up, feed you, make you feel comfortable. And then you're going to help me. So he takes this kid home. Chad, kid's like, oh my God, I've never been in a car before. He's really not saying anything. He's like a mute. He takes him back home. Batman's like, Alfred, feed child, and I'm going to be in the Batcave. Alfred's like, what? What did you do? Bruce, did you kidnap a child? Batman's like, I don't care. I do it all the time now, don't I? And he really does, Chad. He really does. And Batman's like, feed him, wash him, take him to bed. Do all the things that kids need. And Alfred's like, but I don't know how to take care of children. First of all, Alfred, why would you say that? I mean, clearly he doesn't, chat, because his ward became a clearly unstable vigilante of Gotham City. So fair enough, Alfred, you don't have to take care of kids. That kid's been doing enough. Thank you for the 5 biddies. His voice is super great in Summer Baby. I hate his voice. The Diddler. Terrible, terrible. Lemon grab that ass. Poor Alfred. But he brought himself, Chad, because he was such a terrible father figure to Bruce. And he's like, fine. And then, Chad, we see the next day the kid's just been sleeping for at least 24 fucking hours. And Alfred's like, wakey, wakey. He rips the bed sheets off him and opens the curtains. Kid's like, he hates the sun, Jay. Hates it. He's like a little vampire boy. And Alfred's like, I got us clean. You smell like shit. Probably because he was literally shitting himself. Like, those kids, like, they're wearing the same goddamn clothes all day. They live in the sewer, so there's tons of feces everywhere. Feces and piss and garbage shit. So oh my God, the stench has been incredible. Alfred's like, come here, little shit. And the kid's like, I don't want to bathe, no! And, like, he can't get him into the... Eventually does get him in the tub, chat. He does that. He's like, okay, now that you're clean, you had some rest, let me teach you some dinner table manners. And Alfred puts down this big old platter of breakfast food, eggs, bacon, toast, orange juice. Kid's like, oh, sausages. Kid's like, yes. Alfred's like, no. You're going to learn to use the utensils. Fucking fork, knife, spoon. He goes, picks up the kid, just starts pocketing him. He's a little street urchin. That's what he does. Alfred's like, I could have sworn I put them there. And he puts them out there. And again, he's like, okay, use utensils. You didn't show him how to use it, Alfred. He doesn't know. Kid's just like, eats with his hand. Alfred's like, oh, great. A plebeian. And then he's like, all right, you're a lost cause. How about this? You can help me dry the dishes. I'll wash you dry. And they go up there. Alfred, he's like, all right, fucking, here, take this. Kid just like, oh, take this. Take it back to my diddler. And then eventually Alfred hems in this very nice looking silver. Kid fucking runs off of it, Chad. Runs off of it. Alfred's like, little street urchin boy, where the hell are you? And the fucking little street urchin boy, Chad, he's sliding down the steps, the goddamn staircase of Wayne Manor on this little thing. Fucking flies by Alfred, crashes into some Ming China vases, Chad. Very expensive. And then we cut to the Batcave, and Bruce was like, I don't give a shit what's happening upstairs. I gotta find the diddler. And he's beeping and bopping that back. He's watching off screen as Alfred is literally beating the shit out of this kid with a broom. And Batman's like, I remember that broom. Good times. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? I was literally beating this kid with the broom. Oh my God. And eventually, the kid, he escapes Alfred and he goes into one of the many rooms in Wayne Manor. Goes to the weapons room. Which is filled with all sorts of weapons from, like, centuries ago. And the kid's like, I want that fucking gun. Oh, hell yeah. He gets a gun. Alfred's like, oh, shit, he's got a gun. And the kid's like, oh, Batman's like, oh, fucking guns, that's my trigger! And he's like, he takes the gun. He's like, you never use this. First of all, why do you have a fucking weapons room of guns, Bruce Wayne? Seems kind of like, you would not have that. Because it goes against your code, right? 5 minutes, thank you! Dark Slayer, child abuse for kids. I know, man! Bruce, I remember that. I mean, honestly, that kid was lucky at the deal with the beans from Alfred. I would not want to be forced to wear green tights and fight crime with Batman, okay? Fucking life expectancy of Robin's, chat, are very low. Either you're gonna die, or you're gonna get fucked up emotionally or physically in some capacity. No fucking thank you. And Batman's like, it's my turn! He's like, you will never use this. Guns and children do not mix. And he puts it together. He's like, I need your help now. It's like, I have the green shorts. I have them. He's like, oh, God, no. But he's like, no, it's not it yet. He's like, you got to show me where the diddler is. And the little boy's like, hell yeah, I'll show you where that diddler is. And he gets in the Batmobile with the kid. And they go down to one of these secret passages. And the kid's like, he's down there. And Batman's like, cool. And see, busts through this goddamn sewer door, chat. And then the little kid, I think his name is Frog, chat. The little kid, we learned from the sewer kid, his name is Frog. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to reverse. A bit. So, with all during the shenanigans at Wayne Manor and Alfred beating the kid, we cut back to the diddler. And he has a lavish feast prepared, but only for himself. The kids are going to have it. And he's like, Frog, bring me the rose, yes. And some kid brings the rose. He's like, you're not Frog. And he's like, oh, where's Frog? Where's nasty little boy? Someone find Frog. And he like throws a table over. He's like, if no frog appears, no one eats, yes. And they're like, okay, shit. You know what? I realized he sounds like the fucking Chamberlain from The Dark Crystal. That's what he sounds like. Yes. Yes. Very weird. And so the kids, they go out, try to find Frog and shit. That's when Batman, he's infiltrating. And little Frog, he sees all of his friends. And he's like, shh, don't worry. We got fucking Batman. And they're like, woo! Batman's like, oh, little wards. Oh, the future Robinson Batgirl's at my disposal. But he's like, I had no time for that. Show me to him. Because this is the thing. Batman, like, I'm joking. But and I like this moment because Batman sees all these kids who they are malnourished, they've been abused, they're literally caked in their own shit. I'm not even joking. And he's like, I love it because he doesn't even say, he just says, where is he? Show me where he is. Just show me where he is so I can beat the ever-loving shit out of this guy. So Batman's like mad. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. And so they're like, oh, fuck, man, you go beat the diddler. Beat off his diddle. And he takes him to the chat, and, you know, they, like, ring the bell. And Batman's like, I'll ring that fucking bell. He starts ringing that goddamn bell, chat, until he pulls it down. The kids goes, yes, chaos. They're all excited. And then who shows up, chat? It's the diddler. And he's ready for some diddling. But he has some friends join him. He has these giant pet alligators. My sweets, yes. Batman, yes. Children, feast upon him. And the fucking alligators come at Batman, chat. And Batman's like, all right, my rule is I don't kill people, but I'll kill the shit out of alligators because he kills these fucking things, chat. He manages to grab this one alligator, and he pulls its jaws apart so much, the thing just fucking snaps. And you know, once that's done, Chad, once the alligator can't use its mouth anymore, it's going to starve to death. So he killed the alligator. He's like, and he can't do anything. He just fucking passes out or dies from shock or something. And the diddler, he's like, fuck this, I got to get out of here. And so he runs off, Chad. Batman's like, I'm going to get you, motherfucker. And, Batman, like the fucking diddler, he jumps over these like pipes and shit over this precipice, chat. And Batman, he jumps there too, but they all start to fall apart because of the body weight of both of them. And the diddler's like, oh no, yes. And he fucking topples over. His Batman's like, give me your hand. And the diddler's like, I love it. It's the one time where his voice actually changes. What? Bum, 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 bum. Elliot with the 1,500 biddy donation. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I'm back. How's everyone doing? Missed 3 days, so here's 3. No, that was so kind, Elliot. Welcome to the stream. Hope you had a very nice Memorial Day. Hope you had a very nice Memorial Day weekend. Good to see you. I'm just in the middle of my tale of Batman versus the Diddler. And now, chat, as Batman and the Diddler are fighting on these pipes hanging above this precipice, surrounded by all this water. All crocodile infested too, chat. I guess, or alligator infested. Like the sewer kid or the Diddler, he falls off. Batman's like, give me your hand. And this is the one time where the Diddler's voice changes. He goes, fuck you! He just falls right in the middle of the water, chat. Sploosh. And these gators just go right in on him. And Batman's like, oh, a terrible fate for a terrible man. Mike, thank you for the 40 bitty donation. Is there a What Up Sun tonight? I believe there is. Usually at 9:30, right? Yes. What Up Sun at 9:30? Yes. We'll do a movie poll in just a second, Austin. Fucking, Batman's like, terrible fate for a terrible man. But then we cut to, Batman looks over, and he's like, that's the fucking Diddler. And he's like, yeah, it's fucking diddle-doo, Batman, yes! My sweets will kill you, yes! And he fucking takes off. Batman's like, fuck! And Diddler, he's like, I'm just gonna stroll. He's just strutting, Chad's like, got away from the Batman. He's very happy about it. And he locks up all that shit, Chad locks the door. He's in the subway system of Gotham's now. He's like, all right, I lost all my fucking street urchins, but I can always get some more again. You know, just restart. Happens to the best of us. But then the fucking entire door just gets blasted down, chat. And Batman's just walking off. He's like, I'm gonna diddle you. And the guy's like, oh, no, don't diddle the diddler. And Batman, he just runs up to him. But fucking, and they crash down the fucking, the tracks, chat. And, you know, Diddler's head's like, he gets a little concussed, chat, and he's like a little knocked out, a little woozy. Batman, he drags him, so the fucking subway car doesn't kill him, chat, run him over. And so, it's a pretty cool shot, though, because we see the subway car pass over, we see all the lights, the windows passing over Batman's face and Diddler's face, and Batman's like, I have one rule, goddammit, but, whoa, I am very tempted to break it. I want to put you in those green shorts. He's like, no! But then, chat, we actually never find out what happens to Diddler. We never see him after this point. He never makes another appearance. He's never mentioned again. But then we cut, chat. It's daylight in Gotham City, and all the street urchins are being pulled out of the Gotham sewer system. There are all these social workers here, giving them blankets. And see the one little kid, Frog. Remember Frog, who Alfred was beating the shit out of earlier? He goes, the light. Oh, the light, it's beautiful. He's very excited about it. He's taking off, chat. And Batman watches in the distance. He's like, fuck, I could have used some Robins. But he goes off, chat. It's like, still is a victory nonetheless. And we never see what happens to Diddler again. And that, chat, is The Underdwellers. Batman, the Animated Series, Episode 6. It's a hell of an episode. The titular villain, the Diddler, or the Sewer King as he's called, comes across extremely goofy and kind of hard to take seriously. Like, it's kind of like a fucked up episode too. Like, this guy has this group of enslaved children who do his bidding in the sewer system of Gotham City. It's like, that's kind of interesting, but it's the performance of the villain himself that makes it not work, sadly. Like, they had something there. They really did have something there, but that one element kind of, all those good intentions, all that sort of thing kind of goes to the wayside. Kind of ruined it, which is too bad. But it's still fun to talk about. Hopefully you enjoyed my take on Batman Episode 6, chat, The Underdwellers. I believe for next episode, let's see what I'm doing now, chat.